So thank you very much for joining in. So is actually having some trouble with the network, so he will possibly be joining in the next couple of minutes. But in the best interest of time for all of you who've joined, we'll just get started with the session for now. And then, whenever he's here, he can chime in as well.
Yes, so thank you very much, everyone. Now we'll start off with the session. So today's session is about how you, as an ICAN member or CA Nigeria, how can you transit to CPA Canada? So we will tell you the routes of how you can, reach to this qualification and what your, like what the process looks like. So, starting off with a brief introduction about me and Guneet. So, I am Ravneet Sachdeva. I am a CPA in Canada. I was a and also qualified as a chartered accountant from India. I have over 8 years of post qualification experience since I qualified as an Indian chartered accountant, and I have worked across KPMG, Macquarie, and Coca-Cola Canada. Currently, I'm into my own tax and accounting practice and have been here in Canada for a while now.
And my name is Guneet. Very similar to Ravneet. I was also a qualified chartered accountant back from India. And then I immigrated to Canada a couple of years back. That is when I actually wrote my CPA Canada, and now I'm a licensed CPA professional here in Canada. Most of my post qualification experience has been with Deloitte as an external auditor. But like after I cleared my CPA, I wanted to go out in the market and explore something new. So then I joined Questrade, wherein I currently work as manager financial reporting. And yeah, by the side, since we've qualified as CPA Canada's here, we have been helping and mentoring about 500 students, CPA students as of now, by way of our courses, by way of case markings. We do a lot of pro bono stuff like webinars, coffee chat sessions, and those are free guidance and free resources for anybody to attend, no matter if they are students or not. And we also have a platform wherein we have almost 300, 350
International
international.
accountants in the group,
Yeah.
and all the work that we have done for the international accounting community in the last years, all of that is available on our YouTube channel, also on our website. So whenever you get a chance after the webinar, you can go through that as well. So yeah, pretty much this. This is about me and Guneet, and yeah, it's been almost three and a half years now that we have been actively into mentoring CPA students, mentoring and coaching CPA students.
But another thing I would like to highlight is that out of these 500 students that we say, we do have a lot of students who have shown interest who are CAs from Nigeria.
Right.
So, like this is, although we have those students right now, but this is officially kind of the first sort of
Webinar that
webinar that we are doing for the larger group. So thank you so very much for each of you to make time to join this webinar, because this really means a lot to us. And we're very sure that, if you stick with us in this webinar, you will definitely find a lot of useful information, which will definitely go along, a long way and guide you.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so let's get started. We'll start off what the agenda items or the topics of the day are. So we'll discuss why do you need a CPA qualification? What is the CPA registration process looks like? When are the CFE exams scheduled? What is the time cost? And why CFE is challenging or is very different from the exams that you have given back home. And once we cross that part, so when do you actually start your CFE preparation? How do you start that? All of that we will cover in today's webinar. So starting off, why do you need a CPA qualification in Canada? So the first part is, when you enter Canada and start, whatever job opportunity you get at the first job, it is very important for you to become, to get that designation if you need to step up beyond manager level and above. And as soon as you enter Canada, the major difference in terms of your professional life is that whatever you have learned back home in Nigeria is very different from here, right? I know that you guys, are aware about IFRS, but then there is local Canadian accounting standards as well that you need to get used to. You know the tax back in your home country, but then there is tax like the Canadian tax here that you need to get used to.
And which is entirely different from what we have been, used to and studying in our, like home countries before.
Right.
So we really, like, once we did this, that is when we realized how important it was for us, since we're living here, to be able to understand the technical knowledge, or,
Yeah.
the laws basically going around here in the country that you are residing in, planning your future in. And the third benefit, or the third thing that is kind of the motivator for most of the people here, is
Right.
that CPA Canada is a designation which gives you the license or the freedom to be able to open your own accounting practice and switch into business. Because let's be honest, there's no person in Canada here who doesn't think of owning a business sometime or the other, maybe sometime later in the future.
Right.
But this is something that can definitely give that push and kick to your dream.
100%. Okay. So getting into the registration requirements now. So what is the eligibility requirement for you as an ICAN member? So the first and the foremost thing is that you need to be a member of ICAN. So if there are any semi-qualified ICAN members on the call today, so you need to be a member first to be eligible for this MOU or memorandum of understanding with CPA Canada. So first condition is you being an ICAN member, but in good standing with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. Then the second part is the education. So in terms of education, there are two parameters. You can satisfy either of them. So either the first one or the second one. So the first parameter is that you have a degree, you have a recognized university degree. Apart from you being an ICANN member, you have a recognized university degree. Just in case there are members who do not have that and just like directly became ICANN members. So the second or the alternate criteria that you can satisfy is that you need to have at least 8 years of professional experience in any of the six competencies that we have listed here, which is financial accounting, management accounting, audit and assurance, tax, strategy and governance on finance. So in either of these competencies, if you have been working for more than 8 years, then this education criteria gets satisfied.
Yeah. So then, like, like if you satisfy that criteria and you still don't have a recognized university degree, then you will still be eligible to write the CFE exam, right? And the third criteria, which is not that major because we believe that like most of you should be able to qualify it,
Right.
is that you meet the prescribed post-qualification experience requirements. So if you have, like, since you became an ICANN member, if you have more than 2 years of post qualification experience,
Right.
no matter what you were doing, but if you have like what field you were working in, but if you have more than 2 years of experience, then you do not require any experience review. But if there is somebody who's, say, for example, who qualified as an ICANN member last year,
Right.
and they want to kind of, like start with their CPA Canada journey this year,
Right.
then in that case, because they don't have 2 years of post qualification experience yet, all they need to do is submit a, as you can see, practical experience requirement form. So I think that's the only thing that you need
Right.
to do. Then the CPA Canada body will go through that form and then you will be eligible to write.
So these are the only three conditions that you need to satisfy before you can take advantage of this MOU. Okay, so moving forward, so after the eligibility requirements, once you have determined that you are eligible to take advantage of this MOU, how does the registration, how does the registration with CPA Canada, its timelines and cost look like? So for you to register as a CPA member, the documents that you need to require, very similar to what we just mentioned, that you need to be a good standing member with ICANN. So you need a good standing certificate with the from the ICANN Institute. For education, that you need to satisfy is that you need to give a VES ICAP report. So basically, the university degree, they won't accept your university degree as such, but they will, they need a third party, which is World Education Services, WES. They need that party to, attest that you have a recognized degree. So that's the
And you only need to submit the West report if you're going through this route here, right? If you're somebody who is not, who doesn't have a degree and who are going through this alternate where you're only showing that you have more than 8 years of experience in any of the six competencies, then obviously you don't have to go through the West report. That is not something that you have to do, right? For the experience, like I mentioned in the previous slide, you have to submit the practical experience requirement form if your post-qualification experience was less than 2 years.
Right.
And the last thing which everybody has to do, no matter how many years of experience or what route you are going through, is your resume. You need to have a resume wherein you basically mention all the jobs that you did in your like in the history, and then basically the roles and responsibilities that you had, and that is basically so that the institute can go through and they can analyze what sort of experience you had in all of your journey.
Your journey. Yeah. And once you have all of these, three, four documents, and you submit it to the CPA body here in Canada, they take around 3 months or 12 weeks time to process your application. So that's the registration part. So we are done with eligibility. We are done with the registration. So what does the timeline look like? So in Canada, the exams that you need to give for CFE are our one exam is in May/June, and the second exam is in September. So in the next year, the upcoming year 2026, for June 2026, if you need to appear for June 2026, you need to start your registration, like all of this process by October 25, which is this month. Because how it happens is, if you start by October, then CPA body will take like 3 months, as you mentioned, November, December, Jan. And if you become a student, by Jan, then you also need to fill up the CFE exam and enrollment, which is, around that date. So before the CFE exam enrollment comes in, you need to be a student, which is why we have mentioned the date as October 2025. And just in case if you are wanting to give the September 26 attempt, then you need to start your registration by Jan 26, so that 3 months from there is Feb, March, April. Accordingly, you can enroll for CFE exam between April and to end of May.
Right. So if you understand by now, there's two steps of it. One, the first step is completing your student registration. Once your student registration is finished in 3 months' time, then the second step starts where you actually register for the CFE exam. Right. So that's exam registration.
Right.
So that is what we've covered here. That if you're aiming to write June 26 attempt, right, then you have to start your registration by October, which is this month, so that by the time January comes in, at that time the CFE exam enrollment forms will be out in the market. So you can, like once you have your student registration completed and confirmed by the institute, you can then kind of register for the exam.
The overall cost, for this registration journey is around $2,600. How we break that is the registration cost, which, Guneet mentioned, the student registration is around 800 plus tax. And for the exam cost itself, the CFE exam cost is 1,800. So that's like roughly $2,600 plus taxes. So that's about the registration. And we can understand that many of you will have some questions, could be visa related, could be registration related. So we will open the table right at the very end, and then we can take your questions.
Yeah, or by the time if somebody wants to drop in their questions in the chat, you can do that as well.
Okay, so we are through with the eligibility registration. Now we are dwelling into what CFE is about, and how does the CFE structure look like.
All right, so now the CFE exam, which is the final exam for CPA Canada, is actually broken down into 3 days. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Now all these 3 days are consecutive date, which are days, like consecutive 3 days, and all of these days test something different. The first thing before I get into the days is that CFE in itself is a case-based exam. All 3 days will have different cases, right? It is not like a question answer or MCQ kind of a format. It's a case-based exam. So now, first of all, we'll start with day one. Now, day one is a 4-hour case, and it is only one case. You get only one case on for day one.
Right.
Now, what they are doing in day one is that they are basically testing your strategic thinking and decision making, right? In this day, they are not generally not testing any of your technical skills here.
Right.
They're only testing how you think as a businessman and what decisions you make financially, right? So you will have a case here, which you
Right.
get two choices of cases to select from when you are making your exam registration.
Yeah.
And at that time, you choose what case you want to go for. So then on the day of exam, you write that case,
Right.
right? And then what happens in that case is that they will give you one full case, full-fledged case, and they will give you different scenarios.
Yeah.
Generally, it's 4 scenarios.
Yeah.
And then you have to identify and analyze each scenario separately, and you have to make a decision based on quantitatives, based on qualitative factors,
Yeah.
if the company should go forward with that decision or if they should not go forward
Yeah.
with that decision. So this is generally what day one is, and how they kind of break down that one case for you.
Yeah. So that was, just non-technical based, business focused. You are a businessman. So when we come to day two and day three, so first of all, day two and day three are combined, are evaluated, in combination, which means you need to clear both of them. So if you clear either of them, so you do not clear day two and day three together. So you need to clear both of them together, so that in the next attempt, just in case if you falter on day one, so in the next attempt, day two and day three, you do not have to give that, because in the prior attempt, you cleared both of them together.
But for example, if somebody wrote day one, day two, and day three, suppose they passed in day one, but then they failed in day two and passed in day three.
Yeah.
Now, what will happen is that since they passed day one and day one is evaluated separately, they will pass day one and they don't have to write it again.
Right.
But now in the second set, they passed day two, they failed day two, but then they passed day three. But because day two and day three are evaluated together, since they failed day two, they will have to write day two plus day three again in the next attempt. Right, so that is how this works, because both day two and day three are technical based
Focused.
exams. Yeah, technical focused. So either you clear both of them or you write both of them in the second attempt.
Yeah. So when we talk about day two and day three, these are technical based exams. Focusing on day two, the focus or the objective of day two is to test your depth. So to test your specialization, or to what extent do you know some particular subjects in depth, or in very much in detail. So the subjects or the competencies which are tested on day two are financial reporting, management accounting, and the third subject or competency is something that you choose. So the elect which what we term as elective. So the electives that you can choose is assurance, tax, performance management, or finance. Consider you have chosen assurance. So on day two, you are tested for assurance plus financial accounting and management accounting. In this case, again, this is a 5-hour case, just one case. So you are basically working on just one company, in which you will be given very, very different scenarios, and in the same question or in the same case itself, you are tested on these three different competencies. So the focus again is to test your specialization or your depth in your elective and financial accounting and management accounting. And when we talk about day three, so on day three, the competencies or subjects which are tested are these three plus three more. Those three more are tax, strategy and governance, and finance. So basically, these three are tested, plus you are also tested on tax, strategy and governance, and finance. The objective of day three is, for you to know as a CPA whether, you have breadth across different areas or not. So basically, you may be a tax specialist, in your future roles, but you need to know different aspects of what a CPA should be knowing. So, they just want you to know all the 6 sides of, the competencies which are there in CPA.
But another important thing about day three is that if you can see, the time for the exam is 4 hours, but that 4 hours is broken down into three cases. Now, those three cases will be independent of each other, but then why they break it down into three different cases is because that way they can ask you a lot of variety of questions. For example, one case that they give about a company can be following IFRS, but the
Yeah.
second company they will give you who will be following, for example, NPO standards, or the third could be following ASPE, right? So they can test you on this day based on a variety of things. And that is what Ravneet is saying when he says you have to know breadth,
Yeah.
just so that they can see if this person he knows little bit of everything around him. And if he's, like able to clear that exam and be a CPA. So that's what they're basically trying to achieve out of day three.
So that is about the CFE structure, what days are there in CFE. Now moving forward and to a couple of very important slides as to why the CFE becomes challenging, especially for all of us as international accountants. What are the typical challenges which you may not have faced, in your home country exams, but you will when you appear for CPA Canada exams? So a couple of challenge there are so the list goes on and on, right? But we would like to just touch upon a couple of important points here. So the first one is time management. We did mention here that the exams are 4 hours, 5 hours, and 4 hours. You may be thinking that, okay, I have plenty of time.
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
So, but time management is actually the main thing which will, which will be difficult when it comes to writing cases. And why is that? There are like variety of reasons in there. Most of us, would be accounting or tax or finance professionals. So we have that perfectionist attitude, right? That if you are given a question or you are given a situation, you would tend to write very much in detail or with, all your perfectionism in just one question. But in the exam, in the case that you attempt, there may be say 15 assessment opportunities or 15 questions. So rather than focusing on all those 15, you may be thinking, okay, let me just finish up those 7 8 first with all my heart and my effort. But that is where the time management gets very difficult.
Yeah, and even if you don't have that perfectionist attitude,
Yeah.
even then it's a very time constrained exam. You even if you like, stick to your speed and stick to just writing the answers and everything, still everybody finds it so hard to complete the exam because you end up missing at least 2 to 3 questions when you start with it.
Yeah.
So, it's a learning curve. The more you write and practice cases, we are there to help you. Like that is where all that mentorship goes in, because by the end of your preparation you should be able to attempt at least 90% or 95% of the questions in the exam, so that you're able to clear. Because like this exam, it doesn't work like our like back home exams, where you, like Ravneet said, that out of 15 questions maybe I'll just do 8, and I'll do those 8 in 100% surety and confirmed manner, but then I'll not do the remaining ones because I'll spend all my time on those 8. So that is not an approach that will work here. You need to attempt all the questions that are given in the exam. So right, that's the biggest challenge that each and every student who
Yeah.
writes this exam faces. The second thing is that it's a computerized exam.
Yeah.
So, like, we coming from different countries back home, we're not used to, like writing a computerized exam. So, this is something that can be a challenge for a lot of people here. Typing
Yeah.
speed is generally slow, and then there's a different software that they follow. You can't do Alt Tab on the laptops that they provide you. So, things like that, these basically slow down your speed and your, chance at writing the exam a little bit. So that's one of the issues a lot of students face.
And another very important point is, this CFE is a very strategy-based exam. So when we say strategy-based exam, we know that, we saw that day one is just non-technical and you need to have your business mind. But let's maybe discuss a very small example. Consider that, you have to calculate cost per unit and you are given 6 parameters, material, wages, things like that. So consider I am attempting all those 6 pointers, adding all of those in my best perfectionism as I can, wanting to ensure that I calculate the correct cost per unit, and I did as well. But what I did is, I used those 6 parameters, added all of them, came to say 18 per unit, and left my response there. Guneet, on the other hand, uh, we both had the same time, 10 minutes allotted to that particular question. My cost per unit came to 18, and she on the other hand, because she knew that CFE is a more strategy based exam, what she did is, okay, I have 10 minutes. Let me, divide this nicely. So she started off with the purpose as to why she is calculating the cost per unit. Second, out of the 6 pointers, because she had limited time, she just used 4 points. So she left a couple of them, but, maybe say arrived at 14 per unit, and then recommended also as to, whether the company should be going ahead and manufacturing this product or not, and then concluding also in the end. So this is what we term as strategy. She will clear this question in CFE, and I may not. So the focus in CFE is not just to write the perfect response or the best response possible, but to write a response in a manner, consider that you are a business owner, consider you are a CPA, and you are writing a report to the CFO. So when you're doing that, you won't just calculate the cost per unit as I did, but you need to also recommend him. Also need to mention your opinion there as to what you as a CPA think of the situation, right?
Basically following the structure that they ask you to.
Right.
That's the most important thing. Another thing is that it is an open book exam, so everybody thinks that we'll have access to an open book. So whenever we are stuck, we can just like go to the book and look for the solution and do it.
Yeah.
But trust us, like time does not allow you to go to Nausea to find answers. So
Yeah.
that is something that you won't be able to rely on the day of the exam. But from this slide, the last and the most important point that we'd want to cover is that
Yeah.
for students who are coming through an MOU, for example, people like us and people like you,
Yeah.
you only have 3 attempts for CFE, right? And let that sink in. That means that you, like, if you don't clear CFE in the first attempt or the second attempt, you can only write 3 attempts of CFE.
Right.
If you don't clear in the third attempt, then you cannot write CFE. Then you will have to start the CPA Canada from the very start out of
Correct.
the MOU then. So basically you only have 3 attempts to clear CFE directly.
Okay. So similar to what we discussed, there are a lot of other points that we can go on and on, but it may not make the best sense today, right? Because you are still at the very initial stages, still trying to absorb the MOU, what CFE structure is. So perhaps at a later time when you guys are more closer to registering for CPA and starting your preparation, we will surely hold another session and try to make you understand what more challenges you may be able to face, and and what are the sort of strategies that you can adopt, right? Like maybe start with a study schedule. So for this June 2026 exam, so what we as a part of our CPA Academy, as a part of Rabgun CPA Academy, so what we are doing is like starting November until June for those 7 months. So we have a very detailed study schedule as to what you should be doing in which month, and even under that month, how you should be completing your technicals, when you should be revising. So have that study schedule all throughout, and writing mock cases, as Guneet mentioned, nausea or the open book, when you should be using that. So plenty of strategies or tips and tricks, we can go on and on, right? But maybe it will make more sense when you all are also a bit closer to the exam. Okay. So another question, that we face is, when should one be starting? So, and again, this is very subjective. It depends whether you are, currently in your home country, or are you in Canada. If you are in Canada, are you settled or not? How do the family situation looks like? So just like dependent on person to person, but a very ballpark timeline that we generally use is, if you do not get any leaves, or you get limited leaves from the office, so maybe like 6 months before the exam, 4 to 6 months before the exam. And if you are getting good leaves, consider 2 months of leave. So, even if you start 4 months before the exam,
You
you
should
should
be
be okay.
able to prepare well for the exam. But one important thing that I would like to highlight here is, and I think we received this question from a lot of people
Right.
in the form as well. So in order to write the CFE exam, you need to be in Canada to write it. that is like that this exam is not available to be written anywhere outside of Canada as of now. So we understand that a lot of people on this call or this webinar right now, you guys must be based out of Nigeria or your home countries.
Yeah.
But just to let you know that CFE is an exam that you need to be in Canada to write. So yeah, that's something that we will cover later
Yeah, we
probably.
will cover later, like all of these as well. So how and where to start, right? So we have mentioned about the timelines. Consider you are starting your CFE preparation 6 to 7 months in advance. What are the two things that you should be thinking about? So one is the technical material. Second is case writing. So one is knowing all those 6 subjects that you would be tested on
Like
CFE.
what are the technicals, right? Like what is it that you're going to study or prepare before you go into writing cases, right? So these are the two parts. One is the technicals, like the actual study that you do, and second is the case writing. So now if we go one by one and we start talking about the technical material, now we wanted to cover what all sources there are available for you to be able to use.
Right.
The first thing is the CPA study material.
Yeah.
Once you register for the CPA exam, not the student registration, but once you register for the exam,
Yeah.
they provide you access to Nausea, which is the open book, and also some other ebooks.
Yeah.
So that is one option that you can use. The second thing is that you get the technical capsule course that we provide as Ravgun CPA Academy. And then the third thing is other tutors. So in the next slide, what we're going to do is that we're going to compare all these options on a variety of parameters so that it gives you more understanding and insight into it. And then the second thing we will also cover is the case writing, how to write cases, how do you debrief, how many cases you should write, and how can you get your cases marked also. So let's dive into it.
Okay, so on the comparison chart, so let's first talk about, CP Canada. So in terms of technical material, you get the ebooks, which are generally like 700 pages per competency, and there are like 6 competencies, so you can, you can do the maths. Plus the case marking. So they also give you an offer or an opportunity that you can register with them for case marking, which we generally call as capstone 2. The estimated cost for that is around $1,500. And the course completion. So the course completion, completing all of these ebooks, 700 pages each, would like generally take 4 to 5 months just to complete the technicals, and revision may be like practically impossible. So if you are able to complete the subject, so that is an achievement in itself.
And all of you would understand like why an ebook is 700 pages for every competency, because if we are talking about financial reporting, right, in that they have IFRS, but then they will not give you question and answers. What
Right.
they will do is they will give you the complete standard. For example, if we talk about IFRS 15, they will just give you a copy of the complete standard, which might be like 50 to 60 to 80 pages.
Right.
And now you're left on yourself to kind of, read each and every line. And like as a student, you don't even know what is it that is
Right.
important that could come in the exam, that is
Right.
something that you should focus on or learn. So like obviously the pro is that it gives you 100% coverage of all the syllabus.
Yeah.
But that is only if you're able to actually go through that much content, right?
Yeah.
Given that you will have full-time jobs alongside.
And plus, once you do your course, consider you are starting today. You are starting your ebooks today and you finish up, say, in March. When you start writing cases in April, you also need to remember what you studied in October or
Exactly.
or November. So you should have a plan how you can, revise as well, right? Because just completing the syllabi at first go won't help you completely.
But moving on, next we have the other CPA tutors. Obviously, there are tutors in the market, private tutors in the market as well. For those, the problem is that their books are 300 pages per competency. They provide you videos as well because they go through the books themselves, and they also provide case marking. Now, the estimated cost for that is around 2,500 to 3,000 Canadian dollars, which is a lot considering that their books, again, they are relatively less voluminous than what CPA body provides. But again, what we've, like what our understanding of it, and we've been through a lot of these things by now, is that even for them, they provide you standards and they will go through each and everything on the videos with you. But again, even with that, you will never know
Yeah.
what is it that you have to focus on, right? So that is the thing. In here also, the same kind of the con that you have, and we have so many students who've like taken these full-fledged courses from tutors, and they've come to us because even at the end of the course, the full course, they were not sure if they still remember anything or not, if they're still not confident for the exam, right? So that's the problem, that these tutors, they take almost 3 months only to finish technicals, and their video lectures are 3 hour per class. So let me remind you again that 3 hour per class, and a class basically which is a total of like 150 hours for the full course. So you can do the maths to see there's almost like 50 to 60 classes, and all those 60 classes are 3 hour. Now you can decide for yourself if that is kind of the time commitment that you will be able to do with full-time jobs, with family chores and everything. And then even if you sign up for it, after those 3 months, like 3 months is a long enough time. After 3 months, then you will actually start with revising them on your own, and then getting into case marking. So this is something that you can do, but only if you are starting your preparation like 6 to 8 months before the
Easily,
exam.
like maybe even more than that.
Even more.
And then coming with us, the offerings that we are doing in the market. So one is yes, we do the live sessions. So we do the technical live sessions or technical videos as well. Just in case people are not able to attend the live sessions due to their own commitments, you can also get access to our pre-record, like the recorded sessions for those live sessions. Then we have summary notes, which are in a Q&A format. How does that help you is, all of this 700 pages into six, which is like 4,000 pages. We have summarized all of that into one book. And, this booklet acts basically as your own summary note. So you do not have to do any work. This summary book, once you are done with our live sessions once, and also obviously read through those summary notes, the second time you are revising, your revision could be in like completed in like 15 hours, 16 hours. That is the power of, the notes that we have created.
And the best part is that we don't give you like raw standards to learn on yourself. We've summarized all of that into learnable format and learnable language.
Right.
So when you read those notes and when you watch the videos or attend our lectures, we actually help you memorize all of that, during the call itself. And most of our students, like by now we've had so many students, and who've like there have been varied attempts that our students have written. So by now, like, our students remember all the technicals by heart, which is very rare and something that we are extremely proud of. And they are so much confident in that they didn't even refer to the open book during the exam at all.
And that is really good. If you would go back to the challenges that we were discussing about time management, right? So open book is good to refer, but you will realize with time you do not have the time to refer, or go to the open book. So what is the next alternative? You need to have the technicals in your mind so that you can apply, right? So with us, you are able to complete the entire technicals plus strategy sessions in like 2 to 3 weeks. So within 2.5, 3 weeks, you will be done with your technicals and you can jump to case writing. So that,
which is the ultimate goal, because eventually they're going to test you on case writing, right?
Consider you started in November. Almost by November end, you are done with your technicals, and then you start off with your case writing. So you do your case writing for a couple of months, maybe 1.5, 2 months. Then you think, okay, I want to refresh my technicals. Then you can spend another 12, 14, 15 hours, get done with your technicals again.
All 6 competencies again.
And like by the time you reach your exam in June, you will be easily be able to revise your technicals like 4 times, 5 times easily. Like that is what our students have done in the past, which is why even again, proud to mention that our success rate for CFE has been like 93% in the last attempt. So which is like very more than the average which is there in the market.
And we also provide case writing. So if you're looking at the cost for all of this, basically the technicals, the case marking, and then we do strategy sessions for each day, which is now this is something that is more than technicals. Technicals is one thing, but then in these strategy sessions, what we do is that we go through mock cases for each day, and we tell you how to read the case, how to outline the case, how to understand the questions or list down questions, and then how to answer them. So we give you, like, like, we're basically covering you from every aspect. And the thing that we, like, tell everyone is that when you start your journey with us, we basically hold your hand from the very start, and then we stay with you throughout that journey until you clear your exam. And then the point that I was making is that you can get all of this for like $1,500.
Yeah.
Right.
And adding on to what Guneet mentioned, that we give, so whatever you need for CFE, right? Whatever could be like capstone two cases, could be your summary notes, could be mentoring, right? Like mentoring is one of the most important part that you will realize. Like you may have very small, little basic questions to like technical questions as well. You need to have someone who can answer it for you. Either you have a peer, either you have a colleague, but generally, those guys also need to have the experience to answer that. So we, the community that we have, which Guneet was mentioning earlier. So we have a community of more than 300 international accountants. You can drop your questions there, just in case, if you want me or Guneet to answer, your questions categorically. We do that as well. So we want to be there with you until you clear your CFE, and all the resources that we offer are valid until you clear your CFE. So yeah, pretty much I think we have covered more or less what or how we can help you in your CPA journey through the technical courses, which are for all the 6 competencies. You will get recorded lectures. You can do multiple revisions. So this is a very smart study approach, and not just dwelling over the technicals for like 4 6 months. And yes, you can get a very good amount of confidence in a very limited time frame, so that you can eventually focus on writing more cases. And plus, you get the case marking support, which is also very important, because case marking is something very different in Canada if we would compare to our countries back home, because we are not used to writing cases. So although we hold specific sessions as a part of our technical session as to how you should be writing cases, but still, once you write a couple of cases, there will always be scope for improvement, which we will monitor your progress week over week and then guide you. So yeah, pretty much this, and it was really lovely to have you all. Perhaps we can check if David is around now, and he can take on the proceedings from here. But really good to see such huge audience attendance today. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, guys, for sticking and hearing all of this. We really hope that you found it useful in some way or another. But yeah, happy to take any more questions that anybody might have.
Sure. And on your screen is our website, email ID, and contact. If any one of you wants to discuss more about the CFE things, and happy to guide you on that.
Do we have David on the call?
David, are you here?
Yeah, I see him.
Uh,
What?
just a
Can you hear
sec. Just a second, David.
me?
Let
Am I audible enough?
uh, we can't see your video,
Okay.
unfortunately.
I don't know if can we all hear me?
We
Is
can hear you.
it
Yeah, just a bit.
uh, how
That's
about this?
fine. You can go ahead and continue.
Sorry, let me quickly apologize firstly. So let me quickly apologize. I actually had a semester before I actually did test my all things, my that's things like that about to happen, and I was meant to start this session because ever since the CPA MOU with ICAN, there's been talks around CPA MOU with ICAN and CPA Canada and a lot of those things. Got to thousands of, I'm not sure close to thousands of frequently asked questions from my
Mhm. Right.
No,
Right. Although we do not see any questions in the chat, but does any participant want to ask any specific questions?
it's
Just in case not,
very
then
important to know that
let's go.
Mhm.
Yes, hi Priska. Go ahead.
I have actually belonging before.
Oh,
So
hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you, Priska.
something
Thank
those
you
that
very much
actually
for the
Uh,
Uh,
David, sorry guys. Hey David, I think like you're breaking in between.
Nigeria, those that actually also doing Canada, how they can
David, we can't really
practice,
hear
how they can
you.
actually make use of this energy. Say something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
David,
go ahead.
yeah, we can't hear you. So maybe in the interim, we can take questions from the audience.
Okay. Um, Probably we have to that that when I'm done with my
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we'll maybe mute David because we
most of my
can't
session.
understand what
Yeah,
he's saying. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Hi, Priska. Go ahead, please. Apologies for the confusion.
Okay, so thank you very much for the insightful session. But like, I'd like to clarify on the part where you spoke about being a member of ICAN in good standing, right? So sort of the way it works in Nigeria is after you qualify, that's like after you write all the papers and then you pass and all, you have to have about 3 to 4 years work experience before you can do the whole induction ceremony and all. So my question is it after you qualify, that's like after you write the qualifying exam, that you can go ahead to do the ICANN CPA pathway, or you have to wait until like after the induction into ICANN before you can go ahead to do it?
So that's a good question, Priska. So see, if we talk from CPA Canada standpoint, all they need from ICAN is a good standing certificate. I am not very sure from Nigerian accountant, like from ICAN perspective, if you can be issued good standing certificate right away. Normally, in other international accounting bodies, you get issued you do get issued the good standing certificate right away. But is it so with ICAN, like chartered accountants of Nigeria, that it takes a couple of years to issue, like for them to issue it to you?
Yes, yes, it does. Like you have to have work
Okay.
experience.
Okay. Uh, so perhaps, David, in fact, that is why we wanted David to be very active on the call, but somehow it is network issue for him today. But Priska, maybe, so you can see the credentials on the screen. If you want to reach out to us, and then we can help you, after this, we will be happy to assist you. But to be honest, I would bet that you should be able to get the good standing certificate right away, because this is what happens with all the other international accounting bodies we work with. Yeah, sounds fair?
Thank you very much. I'll reach out. Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
No problem.
Hi, Olivia. We can have your question now.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, Olivia.
Hi,
Good
Olivia.
evening.
Good evening.
Please, I have 3 questions to ask. So, firstly, I want to confirm the price, like how much is it to write the CFE exam, and how many papers are we meant to write? Then, secondly, you said we have to be physically present in Canada to write the exam. I want to clarify that if
Sure.
we have to be in Canada, there are no centers in Nigeria where we can write the exams.
Sure. So for the cost, Olivia, if you see on the screen, so cost is, registration plus CFE exam is total is $2,600. That is on the cost. And on the immigration side of things, or if you have to be present in Canada, Guneet can answer that.
Yeah, so on actually being able to write the exam, Olivia, you have to be here in Canada to be able to write it because currently there are no international exam centers available. So you have to be in Canada to be able to write the exam. Even from an immigration perspective, we can provide you some more information, and this would be better for people like all the others in the call as well. How it works is that I will divide it into two parts. Now, if you go with CPA Ontario, if you do your registration with CPA Ontario, then CPA Ontario allows you to write the CFE exam even if you are on visitor visa,
Yeah.
like a tourist visa,
Yeah.
or work permit, or if you are a PR or citizenship or on citizenship,
Or a
then
study
obviously,
permit.
or study permit, you can write it. So CPA Ontario is basically a little free in that perspective. So a lot of students, like we've had a lot of students, what they do is like if they plan to live in Canada or settle in Canada, they will get a tourist visa. They will start their registration and preparation back from their home countries,
Yeah.
and they will get the visitor visa. Then they will fly, say a month before the exam. They will give their exam, and then like they'll wait for the result. But in that case, the only thing is that you should have some plan for your future so that you're able to use that designation, right? If you don't have like that plan, then that is up to you to decide that if this degree is actually relevant for you in that case or not.
So basically, just in one line, you can come here, give the exam, but the only problem is what is your future? So you can come here, spend those $2,600, become CPA Canada, but what is your immigration plan for for the opportunity, like for your future?
Yeah.
Do you have a study permit? Do you have a work permit? Or
Like
how do you plan to
CPA
become?
body will not give you a work permit based on the degree. So it is all on you to,
Get that.
to get that, or, find a job or things like that. But then if you're somebody who's going for Vancouver or this province, then it is guided by CPA Western School of Business, WSP.
Yeah.
WSP is a little rigid. They only allow you to write CFE if you have a valid study permit or if you are a PR or citizen.
Yeah.
If you are on work permit, then they don't allow you to write.
And neither on tourist permit as
Yeah.
well, they won't allow you. So
Yeah.
you have to have a study permit if you need to appear for CPA BC.
BC, yes. So that's the like breakdown of the immigration.
Okay, please.
Okay,
You
thank you.
mentioned
Thank you. Can we hear
immigration.
me?
I have to ask, do you have an influence on immigration? Like, okay, if I want to come to Canada now to write the exam, if I apply, I'm applying for the purpose of going to write the exam. Is there where you can influence the visa with the immigration such that you don't get denied and be given the visiting visa to come there and write? Do you have an influence on immigration?
No, not really. No. So if you mean that, if you are able to write the CPA exam, you also clear it, but it won't have an influence on your immigration. Like immigration or IRCC is very separate from the CPA body. So CPA will, this pathway will just allow you to get the degree, nothing else. So even if you get the degree, you do not get any additional points. There is no specific pathway by way of which you can get entry into Canada. If you can plan entry into Canada by some other means, that is when CPA becomes useful for you, like in a very simple words.
Okay, I have a question. I don't know if I can go ahead.
Is that Wilfred?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Okay. Good evening from my end here in Nigeria. It's kind of a very exciting session, I must say, because I've learned a whole lot. I must appreciate the both of you. However, I'm super excited because I just got my COPR. So I should be in Canada after this week.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you so much. So for me, I'm really, really very interested in this exam, and I have some questions I have outlined for you to help me out with. Number one is the student registration. Now, for somebody like me, I want to write the September exam, right?
2026. Yeah.
I want to attempt the September exam. However, I want to have a whole lot of time to be able to, prepare for that exam, knowing fully well that I have only 3 shots,
Yeah.
to be able to. So I want to know if I register as a student, say this year, will I be able to access all the materials I need to start preparing? Because 2 things you mentioned is student registration and exam registration. So I need clarification. One, whether it is the student registration that will give me access to the study materials I need, or the exam registration that will give me access to the materials I need. That's number one. Did you get my question, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's number one. Then number two, some of us don't know how to study on our own, especially for exams like this, because this is like a new terrain. As much as we might have a little. For me, I have like 10 years post-qualification experience
Yeah.
because I've been chartered since 2011, and
Yeah.
not until 2020 I attempted ACCA, and
Yeah.
I had passed strategic financial reporting, which basically focuses on IFRS standards.
Yeah.
Do you get? But that's a whole lot. So for me, I want. I don't know if you people are the ones that are going to, I need like a tuition center,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yes, that can be able to help us. For somebody like me that want to write, a tuition center, whether it is online or whether it is physical, if there is in Canada, I would like to attend it, or an online class where I will
Yeah.
Yeah.
have
Sure.
them, yes, where I will have them
Sure.
teach me in depth of some of the things I need to know.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's the second thing. So first of all, can I be able to access the materials on time to start reading on my own? That's
Sure.
number one.
Sure.
Number two, can I be able to have you recommend or tell me which tuition center I should start, attending, for preparing, because they say early to bed, early to rise, correct?
100%. So Wilfred,
Right.
maybe
Yeah.
I
We
can.
will respond to
We
your question.
will respond.
I still have some questions. So I don't know if I should pause here so that you answer, then I
Yeah.
continue with the other questions.
Yeah. Sure. If you can
No,
pause it.
let him take the question. Let him take the question so you could answer everything together. Can you hear me? Please, complete your questions so that I can take everything together.
Yeah. Wilfred,
Okay, I should repeat my question.
I think David.
Okay.
No. You said you have one more question, so you could actually answer
Yes,
everything together.
I think.
So Wilfred, David is saying that perhaps you can complete your questions and then we can answer all of them together.
Get you, sir, please. What?
That's fine. Perhaps
Hello.
Yeah. So perhaps Wilfred, I will just tackle the first 2 questions and then me and Guneet.
Hello.
Yeah. So me and Guneet can.
Hello.
Yeah. Is that you, Wilfred?
Hello. Yes, it's me. Can I go ahead? Or I should just pause here?
No, go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, so my third question now is my third question. Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, we can.
Please write on.
Okay, 3, 1, 2. My third question is, can we have a WhatsApp group for interested students for the September exam? For those people that are willing to register either for June or for September. Then lastly, I don't know if you can still run me through the exam structure that talks about the 3 papers. If you pass this one, if you don't pass this one, these are the implications and what have you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Wilfred. So perhaps we can answer all of these one by one, right? So first of all, Wilfred, when you said what sort of coaching or CPA platform you should be using. I think you would be there when we were discussing this slide. We, as a part of Ravgun CPA Academy, so we offer technical live sessions. We give you summary notes. We help you on case marking. We give you a specific study schedule. So very similar to the CPA or CA coaching program that you would have had in Nigeria. Similar to what David also does. So we do that here in Canada for you to become CPA Canada. And in fact, our like me and Guneet have been helping, like have helped in fact more than 500 students transit to become CPA Canada through this MOU platform itself.
And you would be very happy to know that we have members as old as 2002 batch who have who had this big of a study gap. And we've through our courses and through our mentorship, we've had those people who had lost all touch with their studies get back to studying a whole entirely new syllabus, entirely new approach of exam writing, and they have became CPA Canadas, right? So you don't have to worry about that at all.
And at this time, from our student base, which is more than 300, 350 international candidates, around 15-20% are from, Nigeria. So we have a lot of, Nigerian students as well in our student base. So coming to your first question as well, so when you said, when you will get access to the resources, we can answer that for you. But if you see the first column here, so whenever you do get the access as well, so you will get access to ebooks for which is like 700 pages per competency.
But you will get this access after you do the exam registration. First, you finish student registration, you don't get anything. Then when you register for the CPA exam, that is when you get access to these ebooks. But now Ravneet will help you
Elaborate on
understand.
that. So, whenever you register, maybe say in Jan or Feb for the CFE exam as well. So the ebooks that you are getting is like 700 pages per competency. If you would like to do the maths on that, so you would easily be, using 4 to 5 months just for technical preparation. So starting in Jan or Feb, you are ending up that in May and June, right? So you will get access to resources at some point, but you need to strategically think and calculate how much time it will take for you to just complete those technicals. And okay, by hook or by crook, you did complete those technicals, but then how do you plan to revise? You took 4 months to complete that in first go. Second time, it may take like 60% of the first time, which is like 2 months more. So you cannot go on and on 4 to 7 months just to complete your technicals or revise your technicals
without even practicing cases. Because eventually the exam is case writing.
Right. Like your eventual focus should be on case writing, right? So not just to complete technicals. And as we mentioned at the beginning of the call, CFE is a very, very strategy-based exam. It is not a question answer based exam where you are given a question and you respond to that and you pass. No. So there is a particular strategy. You need to start with purpose. You need to follow the response structure. Then you need to conclude and recommend as well. And then you need to submit your report and not just answer, right? So there is a lot of strategy, a lot of case writing involved. And for you, there is a lot of learning that is involved in case writing itself or case marking. So yeah, you need to weigh things accordingly.
And another thing I think you asked was, so when we do our live sessions start in the last week of November for the 2026 attempts. So you can join that, right? But the best part is that even if you are not able to attend, say, 1 or 2 classes, we provide you online recordings up until your exam. So for example, if you're writing September 2026, you will have access to all those lectures up until 2026 September or until you clear, just so that you can revise those. Like a lot of our students, based on the feedback we continue receiving, they prefer to also revise the technicals from the recordings itself because it's easier that way. So you can watch those recordings. You will always have access, so you can watch them like as many times as you want. So it is online. right? Like the classes are online, and the reason for that is that we have students from BC, we have students from Nova Scotia, all across Canada at this point.
Yeah.
So it is very important for us to try to do live lectures at a time that works for all time zones. But even if it doesn't and students are not able to attend, like we have to have recordings.
Yeah.
Wilfred, does
Okay.
that answer your questions?
Yeah, it does, but I still need more clarifications. Yeah. So what you are trying to say, in other words, is that I can now, if I can register as a student in your own academy, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
By this November, that is when you are starting your classes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So okay, so if I decide to register with your academy, I
Yeah.
can start preparing way
Right away.
ahead of time.
Right
Yes,
away. Yeah.
that's
So
right.
you get like 7
Okay,
months
so
before the exam.
okay, so that's okay. So I would like to register for your November class, and I've seen that you wrote about 1,500 card. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's for me to join the academy, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
I hope you'll be able to provide more details about that
Yeah.
on the WhatsApp
Yeah.
group.
100%. Yeah. On the WhatsApp group as well. And if you would like to connect with us, on the contacts mentioned here, you can do that as well.
Yeah, so we can maybe discuss in detail if there's anything else.
Okay. So now, if I register as a student, I will have access to your. Can you go back to that page? That slide. Go. So, yeah, go back. Go back. There's a slide there. Good. Now you said CPA Canada. Technical materials, ebook, 700 pages per competency plus. Okay, let's keep that. Then you have other CPA tutors, meaning aside you guys, there are other people that provide the same services you do provide, correct? But
Yeah.
if I take advantage of your academy, that's Rough Gun CPA Academy, I'll get value for my money and I'll be paying 1,500, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now if I pay 1,500 to start your class by November, it now means I will have access to technical videos
Yeah.
/ sessions, correct?
Live sessions, recorded videos, summary notes, case marking. You also get hard copy of the notes. So once you are in Canada, we will courier you the hard copy of the notes as well. So, whatever you can think of that you need to clear CFE, we do provide you
Okay,
that. And the most
okay,
important part, which is not mentioned here, but is intangible, is mentoring. So mentoring, answering to your questions, right? So you are very new to the process, and every international accountant is very new to this process, and they have a lot of small basic questions, right from, whether I write my exam on a laptop, whether I write my exam on a desktop. How do I do that? Do they give you cases on the computer, or do they give you hard copies of the cases? Like right from those very basic questions to the technical questions for IFRS on, different technical questions. So we help you on that, right? So whatever you need to clear
fantastic.
CSV, we help you on that, and we want to be with you on that journey to help you clear CFE in your first attempt.
Oh my goodness, I can't just wait to join your academy. I can't wait.
Amazing.
Thanks, Wilfred.
Yeah. David, do you want to chip in now, if you are around?
Yeah. We have time constraints. We actually programmed this particular session for when we are 40 minutes done. So for those of us that still have 1 or 2 questions to ask, probably we want to direct those questions to Ravneet directly. The contact details are here, so you could actually reach out to him. Then people that are just joining would have this particular session is recorded, which means that we can actually fall back to it. I guess it will be
Sorry,
going to be
David,
uploaded.
your line is breaking. We can't hear you.
Yeah.
Your
Can
line
you
is
hear me now?
breaking. You
Am
are
I
too
audible
low
now?
on the volume.
Yeah, David, it is getting a bit difficult to
How is it now?
understand.
We can barely hear you. We can barely hear you, David.
Hmm?
Okay. So how about like this? Is it fine?
Yeah.
Okay, just go ahead. But truthfully, I can barely hear you. That's just the truth. I don't know where you are speaking from, whether it's a speaker or
Maybe he's using AirPod or he's using
yes,
headset.
it's really, really not clear. Yes.
Yeah, no problem. Maybe until David joins again, does anyone have any more questions?
Okay, please, where are you guys? Where are you? Where is your location in Canada?
So we are in
Because I don't.
Canada. So we are in Toronto, Canada. So
You
we are
say
in
where?
Toronto, Canada.
Okay, Toronto, because I think I'll be going to I don't know. Uh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. And
That's
then
okay.
perhaps, we can take a couple of questions from the chat. Just give us a second. So couple of questions from the chat are, how does one go about the visa to come to Canada for the exam? I think this was a question
Somebody
by
raised a hand, so
Ritu.
we can probably take that
Okay,
because all the
yeah.
questions in the chat
Yeah,
are already
Alright.
answered for now.
Yeah, Ariumi, do you want to go ahead?
Oh, good evening. Thank you
Yeah.
for the class. Please, I'm not clear about that part when what's his name? The man that just asked you questions now, when he asked about physical class or no physical class. I'm not clear about that. So I want to ask, do you have do you do physical class or it's just online the videos that you send that we have to watch for the exam?
Yeah, so this is all online. So whatever we teach is through online sessions, and there is no physical class for this.
And that is because, like I mentioned, that we have students from all across provinces as of now.
Countries as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like
Okay.
everybody
So
prefers.
the video, the online classes, because I've not attended any online class to write exam. Even when I was writing my ICAN, so physical class and all. So
Yeah.
I'm finding it hard to digest, how to go for, and
Yeah.
seeing that
Honestly,
this CFE exam is wider,
yeah.
is voluminous compared to ICAN that I did here in Nigeria. So that's why
Yes.
I'm asking if there will be
Honestly,
physical class.
Ariumi, I'll tell you because I know a bit about how the exams are there for ICANN as well. To be honest, once you go through the entire process, you will realize that the ICANN course was more comprehensive in terms of volume, like in terms of volume. The number of pages here seem high, I know, right? Which is why we have come with our resources because that is not something you want. Because even for ICANN, if you will go into the raw standards, go into the raw books, like directly coming from the source, even there the volume will be high because the IFRS everywhere is voluminous. It is. But we have tried to summarize it for you. To be honest, if you follow the right resources for CFE, this CFE is not a big job to do. So if you are following the right strategy, just spending the right amount of time, not too much, like 1.5 hour commitment across the months, that is not too much, right? So if you are just following the path, following our study schedule, listening to what we as mentors are guiding you, this is not a hard nut to crack.
And even with the online classes, it is just like a webinar, right? When you attend our live session, it is like a webinar. You like when we teach you after every 10 to 15 minutes or after every topic, we open the floor for questions.
Yeah.
So we try to do it like that so that the questions are every person is answered.
Yeah.
But also if you are watching it, say 3 months after, right? If you are watching a recording, you can, and if you have any questions, you can simply either mail Ravneet or either mail me with your questions, and we always get back to you as soon as possible. So it's not like you are watching a recording and then you have a question and then you don't know who will answer it for you. Like we are saying that when you join our academy, you have us and we answer each and every sort of question you have. It can be technical, it can be exam related, it can be if you're getting nervous about the exam and want a little pep talk, like we are available for our students all the time. And especially now that Ravneet is full time into this,
Yeah.
So, like that is all that kind of our focus is, that our students and the other business that we are doing, like that is what our focus is, to kind of help everybody navigate that journey easily.
And Adivumi, as we before mentioned, that we also have a WhatsApp community.
Yeah.
So obviously you can drop your questions in there, like students. And in fact, you will realize with time that once you become a part of this online community, you will have students from BC, you will have students from the East Coast as well. So, you will be listening to different intellectual questions from people across Canada and even across countries, right?
And you can ask your questions in there.
that-
We respond to questions, other students respond to questions. So there is no, not a 0% chance that if you have a question and that is not answered by any of us.
Yeah. And then we also hold, free of cost coffee chats every second week or every month. So coffee chat is just a Q&A session. So any sort of question, basic question, exam related or technical questions, whatever questions you have, we answer it for you, right? So I don't think there is any other platform in Canada which actually helps you do that. Yeah, go ahead, Adivumi.
Okay.
So I don't know if
Uh,
I'm audible now.
Regarding I don't me on the line. So regarding the videos, please I want to ask, is it recorded videos that you send to us?
Yeah.
Or class will be live?
So first it will be live sessions.
Like we're starting November 22, this November, with the live session. And then once a live session is done, we will record it, all right? And then we will provide access to all the students, so that if, two people could not attend it, they can watch it before the next session.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the reason why I asked is maybe I'm thinking maybe recorded videos that maybe you sent to last diet and it's what you still want to say, because I don't know how they do. I don't know about the CFE syllabus, but I know here in Nigeria I can do change syllabus. So that's what I'm trying to ask. But it's fine. Thank you.
No problem.
All right.
Hello, Ravneet.
Yes, David.
Sorry, let me chip in. Let me chip
Yes,
in one or
please.
two things.
We were waiting for you.
Can you hear me now?
Better.
Yeah, we can hear you. Thanks,
Okay.
David.
Okay, good. So let's flow. First, let me appreciate you guys for the good work. You've done absolutely well, and let me also apologize that I couldn't join earlier on because I was meant to open the session. But notwithstanding, so far since when I joined, it's been an awesome one, and I would say that anyone that have missed this should actually try go back to watch it. I know it will be posted on your YouTube platform. Then I would like to also chip in some things for our brethren here, ACA's Associate Chartered Accountants, ICAN members. It's very important for you to understand that you have to be in good standing with ICAN, because I see many of us are forgetting this aspect of it. Definitely, you get a form, you fill a form here that will be forwarded to CPA Canada. And for you to be in good standing, that means that you must have had over 120 MCPD points that's over the last 3 years. That's 120 credit hours that you must have gathered over the last 3 years. I think it was updated. It used to be, I think, 30 points before, but as at January 2024, it was updated to 40 points. And there's a particular portion of it that must come from structured training. There's a portion of it that must come from unstructured training. So 25 from structured, 15 from unstructured. So what I mean by structured training is like ICAN conference, that's a structured training. MCPD, like trainings, there are some particular faculty sessions that normally hold every month. I don't know if some of us do participate. Those are structured trainings. But ICAN's district meeting, those are unstructured trainings. When you have EGM, they are unstructured trainings. So you need to have gathered this 120 points in the last 3 years. That's the first aspect of you being in good standing with ICAN. Then you also need to have paid your subscription from up to date. You should not be owing any subscription with ICAN. Then someone asked the question the other time as regards probably if the person has qualified, not qualified. Please, I want us to know that this particular opportunity is reserved for those that have qualified. Those that have qualified and you have been inducted. So that's the major reason why they specifically stated that you should, which means I think ICAN did not even say anything as regards the number of years you should have qualified for before applying for the CPA good standing, right? But by my intuition, you should know if they say you should have 120 credit hour, that means that that's 3 years. If you are telling you to have 120 credit, they didn't say it in anywhere. I was having a conversation with an ICAN, someone that works in ICAN office the other day, and he said that any student that would actually want to interpret it knows that that's 3 years, even though they didn't state it. So 120, that's 3 years. You need to have, that means that you need to have qualified, you need to have been inducted. Post-induction requirement is 3 years. So that means that in those last 3 years, you have gathered 120 credit hour. Then for the subscription, you are not owing. You need to get a form. There's a particular form. I have a copy of it here. I don't know, but if you need it, I can send this. I will drop a sample of it on the platform. I've actually helped students with some of this in the past, not only for CPA. I think there was a time that they were actually running ICAW, not CPA Canada only. ICAW is even 5 years. This one is 3 years. So you need to fill that form. I can't afford the letter of good standing to CPA Canada. I think those are the 3 things when it comes. Then very important also, CPA Canada specifically stated that you need to have a degree. That is, you need to have a degree in some particular area of competence, some area of, they refer to it as area of competence. You need to have, like, your degree should have been gotten from those particular area. But if you don't have a degree, they put a work experience criteria. I don't know if Ravneet can actually educate more on that, because I just have a theoretical knowledge of that. I have not spoken with anyone. Can you?
So in fact, David, we have just one question which we have received, during this call, which we were not aware of as well. See, from CPA Canada perspective, all they want is a good standing certificate from ICAN. So one of the students in the call today mentioned that good standing by ICAN can be issued only after 3 to 4 years.
After induction, they are saying.
Is that so?
Yes, after induction. After induction, it should be after induction.
Okay.
Does that take 3 to 4
years? 3 years after induction. 3 years after induction.
Oh, 3 years after induction.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, because this is very different from other international accounting bodies. So in like case of other like India, Pakistan, and like other countries, they can issue the good standing certificate right away, like right away you pass. But this is like different from ICAN then.
ICAN didn't even specifically state that it's 3 years. It's just our intuition. If they say you have to get 120 credits, because we use credit hour for our mandatory continuing professional education points. We use credit hour here. So if they tell you that you should have 120 credit hour, that means that they want you to, and the maximum that you can get every year is 40. So which means that 40 times 3, that is 120, which means that that's 3 years that they want you to have. I mean, there are some of us here, I believe that over the last 3 years, we check, have I gotten 120 credit hour? I think that's the first thing that you need to work towards in good standing. Then very importantly is that you must, your ICANs, I think most ACAs don't always come from MOU. But if your ACA is from MOU also, probably there's an institute that is linked with ICAN, and you didn't probably write some papers and all of that, I don't think you can benefit from this. I don't think you can benefit from CPA, because we need to mention many of these things because many people don't know these aspects, and this was what I was meant to take within the first 15 minutes of this session. So that's why I had to quickly summarize them and just include it here. I'll still do some things and post it on the platform too, as you guys.
Sure. Thanks, David.
Sorry, David, I have a question for David. I don't know if I'm correct with his name.
Okay, I'm with you, sir. I'm with you. Yeah,
okay,
I'm with you.
Okay, recently I just got the ICAW qualification, right? And I know that part of what they requested for was the letter of good standing.
Good.
Okay. Yes. So I think that might suffice. But however, my concern now is the mandatory, what did you call it? The mandatory professional, what is it called now? The score now we normally get. that you say
Yeah,
it has to be
MCPG.
within 3 years. So does that also, do I see, how about for me that has, like I mentioned, that I've been I've been on the line for quite a while. Does that mean they might have to also add up all of my, mandatory professional training to know if I have gotten 120 units, or it is just 120 units in the past immediate 3 years? I don't know if you get my point.
Exactly. The past
Because
immediate 3 years. The
in
past
the
immediate
other,
3
in
years.
the other, in the other ICAEW, right? It was like they just used all of my mandatory professional training scores. Do you get, over time that I have been a member?
Yeah.
But this one you are now saying 3 years is just what I wanted clarification on. Is it 3 years just passing recently, or all of the trainings I've done in the years I've been qualified?
So it's going to
If you need more answers on this, you might also research and maybe get back to us. But if you can answer the question, I will.
Yes. If this particular MOU, every MOU have their various, I think they assess their good standing and all of those things. But from all what I've gathered here, they said that to be good standing with ICAN and use this MOU with CPA Canada, you must be fully qualified ICAN who has paid all this and the required 120 mandatory professional development points. And in addition, you must be in a good standing with, various in terms of your annual subscription.
Oh, we
All
understand.
right. Thank you.
No worries.
So
yeah.
Ravneet, I'm looking forward to having you drop on the platform, how we can go about making payments, and subsequently have some of those of us that are interested inducted into, the group of potential students that are ready to write for the September and all of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure, Wilfred. Thanks for that.
All right, then.
So I'm back. Let me just let round it off, please. So what I meant by 3 years is for those that are just inducted, because if you can get 40 credits and 120 credits hour in a year, right? You need 3 years to get 20 credits hour.
I think David has dropped off, perhaps due to some technical issues. But maybe, we will get back in the group with your questions, especially Alfred, Ariumi, Priska. Thank you very much for your questions today. It was lovely to have you all and a very, very interactive session. Thank you very much. And, we will look forward to conducting more sessions. This was more of an introductory session today, just for you to know about, what does your pathway look like. Once you get on the path, we will get you going, get you, aligned with what sort of challenges and tips and tricks you can use to, make your journey more successful and become CPA Canada as soon as possible.
But yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for joining in today and for giving us your time.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone.
Bye-bye.
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 Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We appreciate
Even though
it.
my network was so
Thank you so
poor.
much.
Thank you so
We really
much.
appreciate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Appreciate your time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.